Hey guys, in my last video, I told you I would do a walkthrough of kind of what the process is with dropship and how it works so you guys can figure out if it is something that you can apply to your business. So dropship essentially means a hair vendor keeps the hair in stock so you don't have to. So like I have all of this hair here. The hair vendor would utilize their warehouse, keep it in stock. They then would ship out your product with your company name on the mailer, and they would package your items how you want to. Now, genuinely or generally, the vendors will use just a plastic bag, and then they'll have the bundles in there, and that's how they ship it out to your clients. But I have a vendor who I've used now quite a few times because their hair is really, really nice. And anytime I'm like out of something, they can ship it to me relatively fast. They typically do next day shipments, and so I can get my items quickly. But this vendor also offers packaging. So this isn't from the vendor, but they do have packaging like this. They have boxes you can use. They have combs, brushes. They have a plethora of things. So you can buy in bulk the packaging. So I think you can do 50 or 100 of these pieces. You pay for that in advance. They keep it at the warehouse. And then when your clients order, they just package your item how you want it to be. If you want them to only use a bag, then they'll just put the bundle in the bag. They'll tie it up really pretty, and then they'll ship it out. If you want a bag in a box and a thank you card, they'll do that. So I really love them because they have the customization aspect, and I know a lot of y'all are super big on branding, and this is one of the few dropship vendors that I found that also offers custom packaging. So they can do hair tags, they can do bundle wraps, they can do all of those things to make sure your brand is on brand. So I love that for them. This vendor has wavy hair. They sell virgin hair as well as raw hair. And then I like them because they have pre-colored bundles in stock. You don't have to wait on it because a few of my pre-colored vendors, I have to wait like 3 weeks to get. But this vendor, they have it in stock, ready to ship. And they have closures to match too. So I really like them. And the hair is really, really pretty. And then they have curly hair. So they have really nice curly patterns. They have a variety of curly patterns and long lengths. And then they also have K-tips. And they can make wigs. So wigs typically take about 2 days. They say 1 day, but it's about 2 days. And then they can use the bundles, and they can make the bundles into wigs, and they can add a closure, or they can do a half wig, whatever you want. But I really like this vendor because his communication is so good. And I know that's like hard to get with a lot of vendors. He responds quick. If he says he's gonna ship it out in 2 days, it gets shipped in 2 days. And so I like that vendor. But back to how, and that vendor will be available along with 2 other vendors on my new updated dropship vendor list. And that vendor, the list will be $99 in my next webinar. The webinar is free, and my next webinar is on the 28th of September. So you don't want to miss it. We're going over funding. We're going to be talking about funding. So even if you don't have a lot of money, on ways that you can get money within your business, even if you have bad credit. It's not going to be some credit repair class, but I am going to discuss the benefits of having good credit and ways that you can work on your credit. But more than that, I'm going to show you how you can get money for your business, even if you don't have the best credit or have a plethora of dollars to use on your own. And then I'm going to give you strategies just so you can think about other ways that you can kind of circumvent if you do not have a lot of money, but you can still get your business off the ground. Dropship is essentially one of them because you don't have to tie up your money with inventory. And then, so we're going to go over finances. We're also going to go over ways that the content that you're making can make money for you. Meta or Facebook, Instagram, they just cut an almost $600 check to me for content that I post anyway. So I'm going to give you some of those strategies. Now, VIP, I do have a VIP. It's $57. VIP, you get 2 extra hours with me to ask specific questions about your business. It's a small group setting. But I'm going to give you the actual strategy on how I easily get more organic traffic. And I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands of views, 600,000 views on a video. And then how that then translates into money from Meta, just with the regular content that I post. I'm gonna give you all that strategy. It's only gonna be in VIP. But then I also have one of my homegirls, Natalie Nicole. She has built an amazing personal brand. She has over 500,000 followers on Instagram. She gets paid to do speaking engagements and all these things. She has a marketing and a beauty background. So she's going to come speak to you guys about building a personal brand, but then also how to get more organic traffic on your videos and your content. And then I have one of the women who helped build one of my funnels and also helped build out my branding for my new company. She's going to come and talk about branding, funnels, and automations, because automations and the funnels have been the name of the game for my business, and it's super important for business. It just helps you get more leads and convert those leads into paying customers automatically, so without you having to do a lot of extra work. So that's going to be amazing. That is on September 28th. You can have a link down below. The webinar is completely free, and you can get access to that down below. Back to dropshipping. So with dropshipping, what I do is I have my website. I have my Shopify website. When I was doing dropshipping, clients would place their orders on my website. I would get the order. I would then send a WhatsApp message to my vendor, my connect, and I would say, hey, this client ordered 3 22-inch Burmese curly. This is her address. And then they would tell me how much the hair is total for wholesale and shipping. And then I'd pay the processing fee and I ship it. Now my prices on my website would include all of those fees. So the wholesale price, the processing fee, and the shipping. So I upsell all of my bundles with a little bit more to help cover shipping, because you have to think, if your client is in the US, they're only going to be charged like $15 for shipping. If it's coming from overseas, like Vietnam or something, shipping may be $40. So you have to keep in mind that your retail prices on your site have to also include some extra fees to cover the shipping. So I add about a 50% markup, and then make sure that the shipping is covered, and then I pay the wholesale price to the vendor. They then package up my hair how I want it to be packaged. They put the hair in the package, they tie it up, they get the mailer with the client's address, they put that on, the mailer, and then they ship it directly to the client. Okay, so the client sees Avia hair on the package, on the mailing, the shipping mailer, and all they know is that I shipped out their hair. They don't know that I don't have that hair in my possession, that this vendor is shipping it out for me. So it works out because the client can get the hair and you can get the money. If you price everything correctly, you should make a relatively good profit for hair that you don't even have to keep in stock and you're not tying up your money for. So that's the benefits of dropship. Now you do need to know your numbers. You need to make sure you mark everything down and that you're actually turning a profit. Also keep in mind, vendors typically charge a little bit more for dropship hair versus you buying in bulk wholesale, just because they know they're keeping the hair in stock and that they're shipping it out for you. So they do typically charge a little bit more. So keep that in mind when you do get a point. So I started off drop shipping, and then once I had enough profit, I started buying hair myself. And I was able to make more of a profit by buying wholesale than drop shipping. But in the beginning, I did drop shipping just so I didn't tie up all my money. So that is an option for you. You don't have to wait until you have a large lump sum of money. You honestly can start with a company that truly does drop shipping, because some companies will say, oh yeah, we do drop shipping, and then they send out the product and it's their company name, and then they put their hair card in the package, all type of stuff. So you really do want to find a vendor that honestly does drop shipping and wants to build a relationship with you, so they're not going to slide their hair flyer in the customer's packaging or reach out to that customer themselves. They're going to respect the business that they have with you, and then they're going to do everything by the book so that you keep buying from them. So again, the vendor I have a dropship vendors list. It has 3 dropship vendors. One vendor is local in the US. So they can ship out items next day and overnight it, which is phenomenal. I use ShipStation with them. So I just punch in all the clients' information. They have a login. They see the orders that came through because my Shopify connects to it, and then they just print it out. I don't even have to do anything extra. I just text him like, hey, there's, you know, a couple new orders, and then he packages it up and he ships it out. Now he also can do custom packaging. You have to pay for the custom packaging, and I think he may charge you a little bit more to utilize it for him to stock it in his warehouse. But he also has an option to where he'll buy a PO box for you with your company name and your own address. Because truthfully, if you're doing drop shipping, especially if it's from overseas and somebody punches in that address into Google, it is possible that they can find out who your vendor is. So with this person who is local, that's not a thing. You can pay him to get a PO box and he'll use that address, and then he'll ship everything out for you, and it'll completely be your business, like top tier. I'll have a video with his hair later on this week, and then I'll buy, you know, hair. I'm waiting on the shipment from the other vendor, the other dropship vendor too, so you guys can see those options so that you can then decide if dropshipping is for you, and you have a place to start with a reputable vendor who actually offers dropship and will ship out the items for you and do a good job. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any more specific questions about dropship, let me know. If you're trying to figure out how to get funding for your beauty business, if you're trying to figure out how you can get more clients, or if you're a product like a hair company and you're trying to figure out vendors, pricing, marketing strategies, or if you are a beauty professional, makeup artist, lash tech, hair stylist, anything, and you want to figure out how you can get into coaching, this training, this live free webinar is going to be for you, because I'm going to hit all those topics. And I encourage every beauty professional, if you have been doing it for a while and you've become a master in your field, get into digital products and or coaching. It's going to help you get a lot more revenue, a lot more profits, because your overhead is going to be way lower. And I think we're all put on this earth to serve people, teach, to share our experiences, and you're able to make a really good profit from it if that's your passion and if that's your purpose, and you can turn it into a really good profit. So I do try to encourage, everybody's not at that level yet, everybody's not wanting to be a teacher, but if you do feel called to it, you should learn the structure, because there is a method to the madness to really get favorable results without burnout. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I'm going to work on one more video. So I might be in the same outfit in a second, but I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.